Hi all, my name is Catherine, Assistant Professor from the Department of EAML, SNS College of Technology, Coimbatore. In this lecture series, till now we have seen about the security attacks. Today we shall see about the security services. So I already gave you a glimpse of what is the security service. So it has to provide different types of services for maintaining the security and safety of an organization. So in order to do that, they have certain things to do that. Authentication. It is the process of verifying the identity of a user or device in order to grant or deny access to a system or device. So authentication is nothing but the user credentials. Wherever you go, you give your username and you give your password. So if it is legitimate, you will be given access to that particular server or particular website or whatever it is. So that is called as authentication. So by providing authentication, only the legitimate persons can access that page. So from with this, you can control the attacks being done often. Then it is access control. This involves the use of policies and procedures to determine who is allowed to access specific resources within a system. For example, when you go to this company server rooms, not everybody will be given the server. There will be a big server room, and there will be a person who will be managing the server. So he is the one who provides access to the person who are working in the company. For example, there will be set of access for manager, but whereas the new employee or the low level employees will be given access to only a particular level. So whatever the manager is able to access, it doesn't mean they both are working in the same company, they'll be given access to everything in the company. It doesn't mean that way. They set a limit for everybody who's accessing the server. So that is called as access control. Next is data confidentiality. So this is responsible for the protection of information from being accessed or disclosed to unauthorized parties. So in order, I told you, right, the main important thing is confidentiality. You should know that your message is not being read or tampered by anybody else. So it has to be protected. That is called as data confidentiality. Next is data integrity. As I told you earlier, this involves the use of techniques to, they have certain techniques and mechanisms so that the integrity of the data is not compromised. For example, you are sending a message, give me 100 rupees, whereas the receiver is receiving like, give me 1 lakh rupees. So if he gives 1 lakh rupees to that person, the middleman will have the 1 lakh rupees. So that is why you are asking for 100 rupees, but the message that is being received on the other side says it's 1 lakh rupees. That is called integrity. The message should be received as such on the other side. Next is non-repudiation. So this involves the use of techniques to create a verifiable record of the origin and transmission of a message, which can be used to prevent the sender from denying that they sent the message. Protection against denial by one of the parties in a communication. It's in simpler terms, you can put it like there is a sender and the receiver, and they are communicating certain stuffs. They are messaging, they are transacting, or they can do any sensitive transaction. So at one point, if the sender is denying, like, oh, I did not even send this message, I did not even ask you for 1 lakh rupees, and the receiver, no, after sending 1 lakh rupees, she is denying, like, no, I did not even send 1 lakh rupees to you. So that is called a non-repudiation. In order to overcome that, we have to they have to agree upon a certain technique so that the sender and the receiver, though both the parties who are actively participating in the communication, at one point they should not deny, like, I did not do this. So that is called as non-repudiation. So we have certain security mechanisms in order to provide the security services which we saw in the previous slide. So first is the encryption. That is one of the basic techniques to provide security to your message. It involves mathematical algorithms to transform data into a form that is not readily intelligible, which means when you see the message with your naked eyes, you won't be able to understand the message immediately. immediately. You can't read, like it won't be like in a simple English or simple any whatever language it could be. So we have to send that message or change the message into a different format. So anybody who involves in the middleman, anybody who is in the middle, who receives, even if they receive the message also, they should not be able to read that message. That is encryption or encipherment. Next is digital signature. As I told you in the previous slide about non-repudiation, if the parties deny, like I did not send this message, I did not receive this message, in order to prevent from doing that, we do this digital signature in that document. So before sending that message, they provide their signature, so that the receiving side will understand, okay, he has sent this message and he has agreed to send that message as well. So next is traffic padding. uh, Earlier I told you, like in passive attacks, Darth will be analyzing the traffic alone. Why is he analyzing the traffic? It is there also they'll try to yeah, he is reading the context, like how long the message is being sent from Bob, to how his nature of a message transmission happens between Bob and Alice. So with that he can pretend like Bob later. So in order to avoid that, we are adding extra data to a network stream in an attempt to obscure the true content of the traffic and make it more difficult to analyze. So instead of like one here some bits are being transmitted, then there is a space, then there is some bits are being transmitted. So we are filling all those spaces with empty bits, so that the attacker will not be able to understand readily. Next is routing control. So here it allows the selection of specific physically secure routes for specific data transmission and enables routing changes. Here the person can select, he knows like this router, this route is safe and secure. So the data could be sent through this way. These are the security mechanisms and security services provided by this OSI security architecture. I hope you understand. Thank you.